All right, this is JT. Try and keep up. We have the one and only Boo Brown. How you doing, sir?
Hello.
Been a while since we saw each other last.
Good. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been November maybe. So.
Yep. November. That would have been the last time.
Been a while.
Obviously, I want people to know about Boo Brown. So, we in the racing community, for those of y'all that have been living under a rock and don't know who this man is, tell everybody a little bit about you. Where are you from? What got you in racing?
Boo Brown. I'm from Washington, D.C. Grew up in Southeast Washington, D.C. 50 years old. Been racing for about 32 years now. I am into audio video, so I have a company that does high-end audio video installs and CCTVs, cameras, and all that stuff. Just loved racing. My dad was in the street cars and doing stuff, so it was just natural that I just liked fast stuff, and just started out guys picking on me when I had a slow bike, and it just fueled me to just, I'm a competitor no matter what. Yeah. So football, basketball, anything is just like golf. I just want to race. I just want to win. So if it means playing something, I'm gonna do the best I can do to win. So that's it.
What was the first thing you started racing on?
I started racing on a Kawasaki ZX7 in like 1990. Well, I had a KZ 650 and then went to a Kawasaki ZX7 and just started racing that. And again, like I said, guys talk trash. Next thing you know, my 750 was beating all the 1100s around here. So it was like, it was just a thing of, they have fast bikes. Okay, I'm going to get fast bikes. I'm going to get more and more and more. And it just became an obsession that I had to be the fastest guy in D.C. and Maryland, at Butch Creek. So I've been racing here at Butch Creek for, like I said, 30 years. So it's been my home track. So.
And obviously going from that, what are you racing on now?
Now I am racing basically two Track Dynamics chassis. I got a 70-inch T4 track, kind of like a pro stock chassis that I race Pro ET, Street, Top Gas. Over here we call it, what do we call it? Top Sportsman. Mm-hmm. That we have a class here, Top Sportsman. And then I have a 76-inch track chassis 460 bike, which is 4.60 in the 8th mile. We run at an 8th mile time. I've been riding street bikes forever, but now I got a 16-year-old son, which is Rico Brown.
He beat me to it. I was going to
and I've given him, the reins to the street bike stuff and teaching him along the way. And I mean, it was just inevitable that he would race. He started out he was at the track from birth, so he just picked up on things. And the funniest thing, he started last year and I've never sat him on a bike as far as riding, going fast, riding on the street. Every night from like 14, when we would before we put the bike away, I just taught him how to do a burnout in the pit before we would put the bike in the trailer. So at least he had, because that seems to be kind of the hardest point for people starting out. They would, have a problem doing that burnout. So I taught him that burnout at the trailer every night that we would go racing. Uh-huh. And then last year in, I think it was Brainerd, we just put him on the bike. I said, here's your time now, go ahead. And it was amazing to watch him do it. And I thought he'd be 2-3 years in learning, and all this time of watching, he just turned into like he'd been a seasoned veteran. He'd been doing it all his life. So it was pretty cool to watch.
And you get to see that a lot in the sport too, and the sons following the fathers. I mean,
for sure.
And when I'm photographing or videoing, I see a lot of you in him, his stance, but his style's a little different. You can tell there's a little bit of a difference there, but you can see your influence is definitely there.
Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, I constantly say it, just coming up where I come from and the way I come up to see dads not a part of kids' lives and things like that. And, from marital problems where women don't want a guy that wants to be in his kid's life, things like that. Where for me, it's been, I mean, I feel like I live vicariously through him and everything that he does. He plays football, he's basketball, and I mean, I'm a part of all of it. I want to be a part of everything he does. And also, like I said, growing up where I grew up, I mean, you were just a product of the environment and being in the streets and doing wrong and things like that. And to be able to be a part of my son's life and raise him and teach him that this is the way, this is a good way to live and have fun and not, you know, like we just had a conversation about health and things. And like people look at me and laugh when I tell them, like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I never have. You know what I mean? And to me, it's just like no reason. You know, I and you know me, I'm just as crazy and wild as anybody out here. So, you know, probably one of the most animated people in racing as far as that. So I'm kind of afraid if I took a drink of something, what I might become. You know, so.
I that's some of the people because I do obviously interact with y'all and socialize with y'all, but I don't sit down and drink with y'all because of that reason. I don't want to do something stupid.
Yeah.
And then because it's like the construction world, they won't ever let it go.
Yeah. Like the funniest thing is, like, for me, I've always been a person that, like, I'm always a person, I would say, that, like, I'm on the middle line of everything when it comes to anything, politics, racial situations, drug use or alcohol use or whatever. For me, you got to control your own life. That's all you can do. No matter what goes on in the world, whether, you know, taxes go up, taxes go down, gas prices go up, gas prices go down. Those things are really beyond your control. You can't control that. All you can do is control yourself and what you can do, you know? So, like, all this stuff that's been going on in the world, I've been a person to just always say, like, hey, let's not, like, you've never heard me talk politics. You never heard me talk race. Every time I see someone, I'm smiling. I'm trying to make them smile, you know, we bring 10 cakes here every race to pass out cakes to people and do things like, I just love happiness among people, you know? So it doesn't matter what it is. And for me, it's just been always that way of what's going to make other people happy, you know? How can you just stay happy? Why are you, people put so much emphasis on things that are beyond their control, other than, you know, as opposed to just live your life. You can only control what you can control.
Well, that's the good thing about this community is that it's that all the, we'll call it noise, all the stuff that's out there that people are complaining about now. When we're here, we have every race, every color, every creed, every sex, and everybody has the passion. Yeah. But everybody's doing it their own way. Yeah. It just, all that noise doesn't track when you're here in the real world with us. That's why I love it. It does,
but it doesn't. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's there because, you know, the bad of it is all the things that goes on, and it kind of, you have a different perspective of someone, and, like, you know, like I said, by Boo Brown being on the middle of the fence, I get calls from both sides of everyone. Hey, what about so-and-so? Why is so-and-so saying this? And why is so-and-so saying that? And it's like, well, you know, that's his perspective. You know, that's how he feels. That doesn't mean that's the person, or, you know, and, well, I don't like what he said. And I go, well, you know what? He doesn't treat me that way. You know what I mean? And that's all I can go off of. Yeah. Whatever else he does in his life has nothing to do with me. Yeah. The way he treats me is how I want to be treated, the way I treat him. You know what I mean? So that's just where I've always been.
And the term "him" is general for those.
We're not general. Him, her,
so whatever. Somebody wants to label that to somebody that's not.
Someone wants a label. The one thing is, I mean, in Boo Brown's life, everyone will tell you he lives it to the fullest. He lives it to be happy. He wants everyone else to be happy. He will give his last of whatever he has to help someone that's a part of his circle and outside of it. Because anyone here that I don't even know can tell you they've never come up to me and spoke to me and said anything, and I haven't had a full-on conversation if they want, or hand them whatever I have to help them. You know, so.
Well, let's bring it. You talk about community, inner circle, and stuff like that. You have a pretty big army that shows up with you from time to time. Let's talk about that
but
family.
Same thing. It's like friends that's been 30 years, family. I mean, I have the biggest support from my family, my mom, dad, wife, my kids. Like, everyone shows up every week, and now that Ricos racing, it's like everyone is there. Like, some people that wouldn't come, it's like, yeah, you never came to see me. You come to see Rico.
He's more popular than you now, right?
Yeah. It's like, it was so funny. One of the guys in racing, like, so I've partnered up this year with one of my longtime friends, John Hall. So we're doing everything together, and he calls me up one day. He's like, man, I was all the way out in Cali, and the guy came up to me and said, when I grow up or come back, if I come back, I want to come back as Rico Brown. I'm like, how does he even know Rico? He's like, man, that kid's got the life. That kid's he's the guy. I'm like, oh man, that's pretty cool. So people know to say who Rico are. Who Rico is. It's funny.
And y'all can't see him, but every time he mentions his boy too, he's got this big smile on his face. The pride is clearly there.
That's my guy. That's my guy. I mean, he's just, like I said, I live vicariously through him. It's all the football coaches, basketball coaches, everybody knows that's Rico's dad. He's going to be here front and center, practice. I mean, I'm probably the only parent that goes 3-4 times a week and just sit in the car and watch them practice. Everyone else doing what they're doing. I'm sitting there watching the guys just practice. I love it.
Great stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and we have to tap on, obviously you've got a lot of championships over the years, so you've won a lot of awards, so let's bring some people up to speed that may not be what's some of the hardware you've taken home with you? Let me rephrase that. Which is the first one that hit you? So even if it's just one of many. Which one would you be proud of?
I'd say my most, the greatest feeling of a championship for me, I think would be my 460 championship. Because it was actually my first full year in the class. I started kind of in the mid-year, finished out, and then my first full season. I won the championship, and that class, the reason I say it's probably one of my more enjoyable classes now because it's so fast of bracket racing. But also, it was a few friends and other guys in the 460 class that kind of started out talking smack, about, oh, if you come over here, you're not going to do this. If you race in this class, and I guess from my accomplishments of being a known bracket racer throughout all these years and stuff like that, that I wouldn't be able to achieve the same success over there. So it was really funny. One of the guys that was egging that on had a practice tree, which is up at Atco Raceway in like a bar. They have a tree inside their track. I know what you're talking about, yeah. Right. So this guy was actually in there with my then, I'd say 11-year-old son, having a competition on the tree, and they were going back and forth. So he's throwing jabs at Rico, and to everyone out there too, Rico's idol is his dad. You know what I mean? His dad is his guy. So he's constantly telling the guy, well, you can barely beat me. There's no way you can beat my dad, So Rico runs out and gets me and brings me back to the tree, and he's like, Dad, he said he could beat you. Show him. And I mean, I literally just mopped this guy up on the tree in this practice thing, and I literally said, if I got in the 460, you never win, And he's like, oh yeah. So I set out to find a bike and bought a bike probably that year, and came out, tested it, like I said, at the end of the year, the next year. My first race, and I believe my first win, came against him.
Oh wow. So
we were in the finals. I beat him, and then went on to win the championship in my first year. So I think that's why it meant the most, because it's like, the smack talk, and then to achieve a championship first time out was just, it was unbelievable. So, yeah, the rest of them, I think, I don't know, like, that's just something people do, and I can't say that I think I have like 7 championships as far from all the different sanctions from back when Pro Star, different stuff like that. I think I'm like 7, 8, I don't know. But it was just a thing, again, like I get motivated by the competition and people sometimes talking, because I did the same thing where I would only race a few times, or here and there I would go over to Man Cup and race and things like that. So it wasn't a thing where, I feel like if you want to be in the top 5, top whatever, you can go to every race and compete. You could be there. Well, I would just participate here and there and win a race or get close, and a couple guys threw a jab. Oh, you don't want to race over here because we race in XDA. So I literally, again, it was like a competition thing. I'm like, okay, well, next year I'm going to make my schedule. I'm coming to every Man Cup race, and I'll win a championship. I went over there and won the championship in Top Gas. In his class, I won the championship. So it was a thing of like, when it comes to racing and doing things, I am, again, I'm full of life, full of fun. I don't take it serious at all. Yeah. Like, it is, until the 2 lights are lit up, I'm joking, playing, laughing. Like, it's just another day out there. It's nothing major to take that serious or either be that upset about a loss, because every time you go down the track, it's a 50-50 odd. Yeah. You know what I mean? Either he's going to win or you're going to win. So what can you do? Yeah. You control your own destiny. So, no, but it's good. I mean, winning and doing things, I set a very modest goal every year, which is to win a race.
Okay.
So if I can win a race, I usually, typically now I'm down to like 2 classes, 3 classes. And if it's just pertaining to XDA, like this year, we're 7 races. So basically I got 14 chances to win one time. And that's the goal. Every year I set that goal. Of course, everyone will want to win a championship. But my goal is I win one race, it's a successful year. And that's just how, because it's extremely hard to even win. You know what I mean?
It helps. It's and your comment there is going to help me help the listener understand that it's not about the money.
No,
it's not about the rewards. It's about y'all love this sport.
We love the sport. We love the sport. I can tell you, and I don't know how other people feel about it, but I get to come to the race, and I pretty much make my schedule where we'll do 1 race a month. If I just do XDA, I have 7 consecutive months of 1 race. That 1 race weekend is a vacation to me every month, and I get to come and hang out with all my friends and laugh and play and joke and stay up until 1, 2 in the morning and do things once a month. The racing is just an added bonus. Yeah. It is, and that's why I said I don't take it serious at all. I mean, one of my good friends and teammate is Mac McAdams, and he is a stickler for precision, cleanliness, maintenance on the bike. I mean, he is the most meticulous person I've ever seen in my life. And I am the polar opposite of that, where I might change my oil once every couple races or something. Like, I just don't, and I should be better at that, but I've been fortunate to have good guys, good mechanics and things where my stuff is pretty good, pretty good product, and I don't have a problem, but I'm just not that serious about it. It's more, like I said, it's more the camaraderie and seeing you guys and stuff like that. When I see you guys, I'm lighting up. We cook and do things. I want everybody eating and having fun, and I mean, it's just a great environment to be around. I mean, to see the people and how everyone, like you said, there's virtually no controversy here. It's just fun for 4 or 5 days or 3 days, however long you're here. It's just fun. You know, that's how I feel about it. I just love coming here and seeing the people, being around the people and laughing, and then it's back to work and see you next month on my vacation, you know. So, yep.
All right. Well, we know he's got a lot to do, but this is Boo Brown. We're obviously we're not just going to have one conversation with him. We're going to let the season unfold, and we'll definitely come back and talk again.
For sure.
So thank you, Boo. We appreciate you coming by, and always a fan, always will be.
Appreciate you having me. All right.
All right. Thank you. All right, if you're listening to this, you don't have to try. You are keeping up. And I have another famous character here who's more famous than his dad. He's smiling. Rico Brown. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
So, all right. Obviously, you're making a name for yourself pretty quick. So let's first talk about this weekend you just had in Galot. So you got yourself a final.
Yep.
And you got yourself a semifinal.
2 quarterfinals.
2 quarterfinals. Okay. We had a discussion about this beforehand, but I shaved my head, so apparently I'm losing my mind here, and I got too much hair. All right, so we got 2 quarterfinals and a final.
And then a win.
And then your win. So, and it's on his page. Go take a look. So obviously, outstanding weekend. When did it click for you? Early. I mean, your dad's obviously very well known. So he's one of the top shelf racers in drag racing. We all know Boo. But when did it click for you that? Yeah, I'm gonna be racing too.
Well, he's always taken me here. First day I got home from the hospital, my mom told me that he sat me on a bike and then just started the bike. So I've always been around him. Always wanted to, ever since I was little, wanted to race and just followed his footsteps, and then where I am now, it's all because of him, just me following him.
Yeah. So, how much of him do you catch yourself emulating? I mean, it's kind of natural. You're his son. He's kind of taught you, but do you catch yourself at times saying, "Jesus, I'm doing what I'm my dad."
Mostly how I talk, not really how I race, but me and him mostly talk trash the same. He might say a little more than me, but we usually talk the same.
Do you trash talk each other too? You got into that yet?
Not yet.
You got that. Not brave enough to do that with Dad yet.
We had our first race, but we didn't talk to each other like that. But probably as we go on, we will.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was the very first thing you actually raced on that you went down the track on?
The bike I'm on now.
The bike you're on now. It was the very first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, how many different machines have you ridden so far? Because I know he's got quite a few.
It's just that one.
It's just that one.
I might ride my dad's top sportsman bike this week.
Okay.
But I don't know. Yeah. Most likely I'll just be riding my bike again.
Okay. And we'll remind everybody this is the second event for XDA. We're in Virginia, 2021. Obviously, it's the 20th. I think is what today is. Thursday. Where are you wanting to go? I mean, do you have any sites? Do you want to do Pro Stock, Top Fuel, Harley, anything else? Or are you happy doing what you're doing at the moment?
I'm happy with where I am now. This is pretty much family to me. Everybody that's around me is close to me, and I appreciate all of them for that. I like where I am now. I'm probably going to stay here for a while.
Now, obviously, you're a rider. Do you do any of the tuning as well? Have you got into that aspect of it as well? Or
it's all been the same. Anything that'll tune will either be from my dad or Spencer Clayton.
Okay. Do you have any desire to do tuning? I know some guys are just happy being drivers. So.
Probably as years go on, I'll learn more into it and get more into it. But as of right now, I'm just happy being a driver.
Yeah. What about people at school when they find out you're a racer and a good one? It isn't like you're just because some younger people. And again, this is an old guy talking now. So some young people, they go and they talk to them and they say, "Well, yeah, I drag race," but do your friends realize that?
They don't really get into it or understand it
they don't.
Most older people will, or people that actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really understand it and don't think it's that amazing, but they don't understand the dangerous levels of it and how fast we're really going. doing this kind of stuff.
But that's part of the assignment too. Ain't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like skydivers like to jump. I don't
Uh-huh.
understand that by any stretch of the imagination.
Would never do.
But, now when you're with your Gallup success over the weekend, what are you running this weekend?
Just 560 and Pro ET. I'm
Just-
a tri-top sportsman, but I don't think my bike's fast enough for that.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Now, when you look back, we're gonna from with you. It could be you and your dad or whatever. Give me a memory that really sticks out. Like that was a cool weekend. It could be something with your dad. It could be a race that you've done. What really sticks out?
It
What
was definitely this Galot weekend.
That Galot weekend?
Me and him both won. It
Yeah.
was just like, from his perspective as a dad,
Mhm.
it's winning a race with your kid. Y'all both win. That's like something that's very rare, or pretty much maybe not even heard of, having a kid and winning with them.
Yeah.
Or just, being there with him. But definitely for me, winning with my dad and seeing the smile on his face and happiness right after I won the video of it, you can hear him screaming and jumping. That's just excitement for me. It made me happy, and that's probably going to be my best accomplishment in my life, my first ever win, and him winning at the same weekend.
Oh, that is cool. So yeah, my unfortunately I didn't. My boys were things didn't work out, so my kids ended up living in another state. So
Mhm.
so I'm glad you cherish those moments.
Mhm.
So and because that's and I could see the pride in Boo. So and especially when we were over here talking, like I said, him and Brandy were talking there earlier, and he was talking about your Galot as well, and he's still grinning when
Yeah.
you bring it up. What do you plan do you plan on doing college or anything? So or do you play sports? What do you do outside of racing?
Yeah, I play football and basketball. So if I'm in the middle of a transfer to go to a better school to try to get more offers and better looks, so in that process, I'll probably end up going somewhere in the D1 to D2 range, probably.
Now, when you're after a scholarship, is it do you have to increase your physical training, or what exactly? I'm sure they're looking at grades too, but what are they actually looking for your? Which one do you want, basketball or football, or does it really matter?
Either or. Most likely, I'll probably go for football.
Okay.
But I'll probably say they look at your grades first, and if
Yeah.
grades are all good, then they'll see how you are in the gym and more physical on field kind of stuff.
Okay. I'm assuming you have to do the workout routines.
Yeah,
You're focused on that.
You got your workouts that you have to do. They'll probably send you some, or they'll just ask your coaches how you are in the weight room and stuff. And then you have also, on top of that, you have the speed kind of difference, agility, strength, just all that type of stuff, hand-eye coordination. And there's just a lot of stuff to go through. Got to be good at.
Really? And do you have? Yeah. I mean, what is there like? Again, I don't. As far as basketball and football, I pay attention to it, but I'm into photography and art and drawing and that kind of stuff. How did your team? Is it a championship team? Did y'all rank district or anything like that?
My team's not very good.
Okay. So, I played some baseball early on with a team called the Blue Jays when I was a kid, and we sucked. So if that makes you feel any better, I was a lousy baseball player. It lasted maybe a summer, and that was my extent of sports. So I was like, to hell with this. I'm going back to drawing. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you roam back over there, so because y'all got a lot of work to do, and I know you're helping Boo, and I appreciate you sitting down.
Mhm.
And as the season unfolds, we'll definitely come back and talk to Rico Brown again, and and when you and your dad line up, I love your dad, but I'm not rooting for him.
All right.
All right. I appreciate you sitting down with me today, sir.
Yep. Thank you.